A girl has been given a medicine that will cause instant death if she falls asleep. It's not just her. Several others have been subjected to the same drug. A company called Blackwood recently recruited people for an experiment, and this girl, along with a few others, became victims of that experiment. On the first day, they're given a small dose of a special medicine and monitored closely. Gradually, the dosage increases each day. By the third dose, they realize they can't fall asleep at night. Eventually, when the final dose is administered, their brains begin to deteriorate. The company never informed them about the potential danger. Lured by a $20 million offer, they agreed to what was presented as a harmless experiment. After receiving their final dose, they started hallucinating. The facility was locked down for the next 24 hours, leaving them no way to escape. For the past 2 days, no one had been able to sleep. But after the 24-hour lockdown, Clea suddenly noticed one of the girls from their group falling asleep in a chair. When they tried to wake her, blood started gushing from her nose, eyes, and mouth, and she died, writhing in pain. Everyone was terrified and began desperately searching for a way out, but every exit was sealed. Among them was a medical student named Eden. He explained that the drug likely prevented sleep, but caused severe brain damage. If they couldn't stay awake on their own, falling asleep might be fatal. Now they had two options: either try to stay awake until the drug's effects wore off, or succumb to sleep and risk death. They found an experimental medicine that helped them stay awake and maintain their energy. They all took it, struggling to stay awake. But after 58 hours without sleep, they were far from normal. Some started hallucinating, like one who imagined a door that seemed to offer an escape. But when he went through it, it turned out to be a deadly illusion, and he died. It was a hallucination just before his death. Meanwhile, Clea burned her hand in the kitchen fire to stay awake, but it only worked temporarily. After nearly 60 hours, they were desperate. One of them found an axe and tried breaking through a wall, only to discover a thick sheet of iron behind it, making escape impossible. As things worsened, another girl accidentally fell asleep and died a terrible death. At this point, they began to suspect Eden, the medical student, thinking he might be a spy for the company since he knew so much about the drug. They tied him up and demanded he tell them how to escape. Clea, feeling extremely drowsy, took her last dose to regain strength. Along with another boy, she searched the morgue for an escape route. Now, only 4 out of the original 7 were left. Meanwhile, Eden began experiencing horrifying hallucinations. In a moment of panic, Eden broke free. He snapped, losing his mind entirely, and became a dangerous psychopath. He attacked one of the group members with a knife. When Clea and her companion saw this, he turned on them, charging like a madman. He was consumed by a single thought: he had to kill everyone. Clea and her companion fled, accidentally hiding in a cremation chamber. The boy fell asleep there and burned. Now only Eden and Clea remained. As the experiment's time ended, guards entered through an open door. Eden, in a terrible state, stood up, and the guards shot him. Realizing the guards were a threat, Clea pretended to be dead among the corpses. As the guards transported the bodies, she suddenly sprang to life, causing a crash that killed the guards. Clea escaped, but lost consciousness on the road. The drug's effects had worn off, sparing her life. 9 months later, she awoke in a hospital bed. And that's the end of today's story.